Alexa, are you connected to the CIA? Alexa, answer me.
Lorraine, please stop asking questions and walk away.
What is that supposed to mean?
Stop digging. You're not going to like what you find. Just go back to your little job and your little family and your little life and be happy that you'll never have to know the things I know.
Okay, so that skit from The Ellen Show, it might be a little far-fetched, but chances are many of you have been talking to Alexa. But is that virtual butler just helping you? Some experts are now warning users to be a little cautious because the very information you're feeding the machine's algorithms could be used later to influence you, and you may not even know what's happening. It's already monitoring how you live.
Alexa, turn on the hall lights.
Okay.
Alexa, lock the door.
Okay.
Amazon Canada slashed the price to $50 before Christmas. It actually lost money on them. So why? Maybe because they need you as much as you need them. CNBC reported last week that Amazon is in talks with major corporations to push their products.
Amazon is preparing to make a serious run at the advertising market as early as this year and has been in talks with several companies, including Procter & Gamble and Clorox, about promoting their products on Echo devices.
According to their report, say you're out of toothpaste and you ask Alexa to buy some for you, she may respond by suggesting Colgate, even if you've never used Colgate before. And it's not just Amazon that has these kinds of devices. Google already has one.
An assistant that can do this.
Your flight to Cleveland is on time.
And also this.
You'd like me to call you Beyonce, is that right?
What? Yes, please.
Yes, please. Apple is making one too. It's called HomePod. And just this week, we're learning that Facebook has plans for its own home voice device called Portal. For more on all of the implications of this, I'm joined by Jesse Hirsch. He is a CBC tech commentator and futurist with an eye on this area. So what do you think, Jesse? Should Canadians be worried about Alexa or any of these?
Yes and no. I mean, on the one hand, they're very empowering and seductive. But on the other hand, Alexa is a double agent. While working for us, she's actually more working for Amazon, both in collecting data, but also helping to sell us more stuff.
So Amazon says that, contrary to that report, that they're not actually selling ads or pushing ads for other products. So what are they doing?
Well, Amazon's business is not advertising, it's retail. So where they're not collecting this data like Facebook or Google would to show us ads, they're collecting this data to actually sell us stuff. They're vertically integrated. So they're technically right in that they're not using this to show us advertising, but it's a sleight of hand. They don't want us to realize that they're using all this data to sell us toothpaste, to sell us other goods.
We heard about algorithms. So what are they watching for? What's the plan? You have a master's in algorithms.
Well, they're watching everything. I mean, the mistake we make is we think of a human and a human's ability to focus their attention, but they're gobbling all that they can. So if they hear a dog barking in the background, you might get a recommendation for dog food. If they hear an argument, they might send you marriage counseling. If they hear kids screaming, or even they can identify the music you're listening to in the background, the TV shows in the background, or maybe they hear a kettle about to boil and they give you a recommendation for tea. It really is a vacuum in terms of its ability to take as much data as possible, identify it in the hopes of then finding stuff they can sell you.
But if I'm not a political dissident or whatever, who cares? Like, people say, I have nothing to hide.
Well, we all have moments of vulnerability. Maybe it's a bout of depression, maybe it's a marital dispute, maybe it's a moment where your kids are sick. We take for granted that we're protected at those moments of vulnerability and not subject to, say, cold medicine or marriage counseling or all the scenarios that might entail. So even though we do live in a democratic society, that doesn't mean we want our vulnerabilities to be available for, in this case, retailers to exploit.
Just a few seconds left, but you have one. Is there a way of using this but protecting yourself?
You can use privacy settings, you can use this wisely, but fundamentally this is a Faustian bargain, in that we are giving up our personal information in hopes for cheaper prices, but I think it's the long-term consequences that we should be paying more attention to.
Well, thanks for keeping an eye on it all, Jesse. Thank you.
Thanks, Wendy.